Alright, good morning guys, everyone who is watching in this channel. This is the United Matters channel. I go by the names of Rokan David. Smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to subscribe to this channel so as not to miss out on stories that we do upload in here on a daily. So smash the like button, comment and share. If at all you're watching us for the very first time, endeavor to do the needful and really smash the black button that has the word subscribe, because we want to hit that magic number that is obviously... What's the magic number? The magic number is 17,000 because we hit 16,000. Let me check. Let me check here. How many subscribers we're having now? We're having 16,000. We want to hit 18,000. We want to hit 17,000 subscribers before the end of this year. Let's push it to that side. We can even make 20,000. But I would like to let you know that we have huge stories concerning Sir Jim Ratcliffe and the takeover of Man United. We are having David Austin in the mix. Now, the Muslims, Barakallahu fikum, the Christians, may the living to God bless you abundantly, and let's obviously take it to where you guys want it to go. Now, let's start it off with David Austin. He has come out and obviously confirmed to us that the announcement about Sir Jim Ratcliffe 25% stake in Manchester United will be next week at the earliest. Everything is on track, and it is a matter of when rather than if. So it's a question of when than if. So if it's when, that means everything is done and dusted. It has been really put well, because for the previous 3 weeks we've been waiting for this announcement, right? And this announcement is gonna hate to finally come here and obviously do the needful. So when when push comes to shove, we all understand that magic has to happen, and Sir Jim Ratcliffe is obviously going to take over the club of Man United. This is the story I wanted to obviously kickstart it with before I obviously go into another Sun story that is going to obviously leave you very, very saddened about the club of Manchester United and what would happen if at all this 25% stake really comes to pass. Now, UEFA source has confirmed, as the rules stand, it's clear situation. Ineos own Nice and are said to have a significant role in running Man United. Unless the regulations are changed, the Ineos sell one of their stakes, they cannot both play in European competitions unless one is in the Champions League and the other is in the Conference League. That's what we are being told by the guy that is the Sun. So it's very clear that if Sir Jim Ratcliffe's 25% stake in Man United is really approved, then we will obviously go ahead and really find it hard for us to play in the Champions League if at all Nice accomplishes ahead of Man United in their table. That is it. And it's very, 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 very saddening for the club of Manchester United. They've gone ahead to obviously add on and said that under UEFA's multi-club ownership rules, the only way Man United and Nice can play in Europe in the next campaign is if one seals an automatic Champions League spot and the other qualifies directly from the Conference League. If both finish in the Champions League spots in their respective divisions, the team that finishes higher of the two gets the place with the other band from Europe. So it shows you that if Nice finishes in Champions League positions, then we obviously don't have a chance to obviously play in the Champions League, and they'll obviously go ahead and play into the Champions League. Now let's look at League One and see. Let's look at the League One table and see how everything is really happening. Now, when you look at League One standings, Nice is second. So, Man United, I think we are 6th or 5th onto the Premier League table. So, I really understand that every United fan has a reason to obviously go into worry, because this is really worrying. And let me bring you this table and you guys see it very well, because you might say that Rokani is just trying to build up something different that maybe it's not obviously going on well, but Nice is really performing very well, and it's really second onto the table behind PSG. And you cannot obviously relate with what exactly is going to happen, because they might really find themselves in a position of really being on top and United not being second. And trust me, if you are told that United can accomplish second this season, it's hard. So when you look at the table, PSG 27 points, Nice is having 26, Monaco is having 24, and this is Olympique Lyon is having 20 points. So it shows you that Nice is really performing at a high level, and they're just 1 point behind PSG, meaning that they can obviously win the league. And that, what does that mean? It means that this man, Sir Jim Ratcliffe, should surrender and put this club up for sale, that is Nice, provided is going to hate to get this, because if he doesn't, then Man United will not even be in share problems, but they will obviously be facing one another to the hugest level of things, because they will at a point X, right? They will at a point X really see United not qualifying for the Champions League. And what will be the reason for us putting our efforts there? And if I told us Jim Ratcliffe, the team that you would love to obviously play in the Champions League will be Man United, because of the amount of money they're obviously going to get you in shirt sales and everything. And he would obviously prefer to really surrender this team. And I really heard that at a certain point X, he wanted to put up this team for sale, you know. Now, I don't know whether he's obviously going to do it, but trust me, he is really a person that has shown us potential, that if at all Nice is second in the league of French League One, that means he's going to have to make the right recruitment and get in the right manager on the job of Nice. So I would love to obviously give him a benefit of doubt and obviously see to it that he gives himself the best that he deserves as a guy. And I think the best thing can do for Man United is simple. Go ahead, sell the club, and after selling the club, you'll obviously see to it that no one is obviously going to stop you from doing what you're supposed to do at Man United, because Sir Jim Ratcliffe is going to come in through as a darling at the club of Man United. But if at all it happens to either the club of Man United is going to hate, obviously lose out on Champions League because of Nice finishing ahead of us, and that's you're going to play in the UEFA Europa League, the fans of United will obviously hate him for good. Do you know why? How could he allow such a scenario to occur when he's costing one of the biggest clubs in the world? You cannot compare Nice to Man United, and Man United in research, it has the most number of fans all over the world, and Real Madrid, they battle for that position. So Sir Jim Ratcliffe needs to obviously check himself out and understand that nothing is gonna be okay, not until he really sells Nice and really concentrates on Man United, because he needs to obviously take us to where we deserve to be. And if at all he's so much into this stuff of us really getting to the levels where we are right now, fight hard with Eric Ten Hag, and then finish maybe third or fourth or fifth, because a fifth team, a team that accomplishes fifth in the Premier League, will obviously qualify for the Champions League. We miss out onto that because Nice is going to have to finish third or second. So it shows you exactly that that's not how business is done, and we need to obviously find a different way altogether. So to my understanding, I would love to let you know that he has to make a big decision, taking stock of Man United, and then make a decision of really moving on to Man United and really leaving Nice that side, because the way they are really performing is really great. And I wouldn't have gone ahead to worry if at all we are really the United that was with Sir Alex Ferguson, because for that, first and second would have been very, very, very much probable for us to really get. But right now, Nice can finish second and finish fourth or fifth, meaning that Nice will be coming to the Champions League, and we won't obviously go ahead and play the Champions League. So that's why I call it the Sir Jim Ratcliffe red flag, because that is a very huge red flag. Champions League football is football that is really very much important to the people. That's why even the sponsors like Adidas tell you, if at all you're not in the Champions League, the 90 million pounds that we are giving you will give you like 50, you know? And if at all you spend a second year without going to the Champions League, do you know what happens? They take you off. They take off another 25%. So that's it, and that's exactly what is happening at the side of Manchester United. But David Austin has come out and also issued a very long statement about Sir Jim Ratcliffe having concrete route to majority ownership of Man United. He has said, I assume he wouldn't be coming in with 25% and Sporting control as the end goal. That makes me think there will be a roadmap of sorts, but if so, I'm not sure if that will be formal or not at this stage. The complexity and time it is taking to finalize the initial stages suggests any further steps will take way longer to put in place. Perhaps there is a framework of sorts, but I wouldn't expect to hear anything formal onto that for the time being. And remember, United are listed on the New York Stock Exchange, so anything of this nature would need to be notified there first. That said, it's something I'm certain Ratcliffe will be asked if when he publicly speaks. So there is worry at Man United because very many people that have gone ahead obviously coming through the club of Man United have really been shelled by the Glazers. So however good these people coming through, they've been really overpowered by the Glazers, from the managers and other people that can really do some good job. Not forgetting Sir Jim Ratcliffe. He was really so good that these people went ahead to obviously suppress him. Now, for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, if he's coming in at Man United with no plan to take United over, as they told us that in 3 years he would pay off these people, then we're obviously going to face it rough if at all he's really having one foot in Manchester and the other in Nice. So all what we need is simple. We need him to make a decision. First, stabilize Manchester United, sell Nice, and after stabilizing Manchester United, then go ahead and start buying other clubs, because you have the money and you can get some good amount of money from selling Nice. Inject it in Man United, then get United to where it's supposed to be. Then you go ahead and obviously acquire another team as Ineos. So to me, I have no problem with him having very many teams, but right now he has come to a team that really is the best in the world. It can really attract very many fans. It's going to make his name famous, you know. All what he needs to do is let him first concentrate on Man United, because if Nice was a team that was a mid-table team in France, that would have been okay. But if at all a team is now second on the League One and United is 6th, yet we all know that even if we punch above our weight, we can only finish 3rd. We cannot go 2nd, because it's either Man City and Arsenal, top 2, or Man City and Liverpool, or Liverpool and Arsenal, or Man City and Liverpool. So I think that's the top 2. So the only place we can go in and fight for is the 3rd, you know, unless otherwise miracles happen. But for Sir Jim Ratcliffe, there is a red flag to coming at Man United, because if Nice accomplishes ahead of us, then they'll go to the Champions League and will go to the Conference League even, because if Nice doesn't perform well into the Champions League and finishes 3rd, they are thrown to the UEFA Europa League, meaning that we cannot obviously even play in the UEFA Europa League. That is very, very bad, and Sir Jim needs to obviously think about it, because that's the day English fans, all Man United fans, will always hate him as an owner of the club of Manchester United, because in history we've never gone ahead to accomplish in the top 4 positions and not qualify or not take part in the Champions League. That is out. So thank you very much for watching in through. And the other big question I had gone ahead to forget is, what will Sir Jim tell the owners, the sponsors of Man United? Because that means not playing the Champions League, meaning reduction in income. And him being as a businessman, he knows that if the team like Man United brings in a lot of money, he'll use that amount of money to obviously take himself to where he deserves to be as an owner. Because the moment we are in the Conference League, that means we have to inject in a lot of money to get in players, and convincing those players to come in through, they have to come on large salaries. Yet we're in the Champions League, it's easy to attract players. So he needs to rethink about it, contemplate on it several times, and after that contemplation, he'll obviously take us to where we deserve to be as a club. So guys, your thoughts on Sir Jim Ratcliffe red flag are welcome in the comment section below, and that embargo that might obviously come to Man United soon, if at all Nice accomplishes ahead of Manchester United. And even vice versa, what if Nice finishes 3rd and United finishes 2nd? The fans of Nice will be fuming, you know. They'll also want to be playing the Champions League. So I don't know how he's obviously going to play his cards, but
Good morning. I sign out for now. See you later. May the living to God bless you abundantly. Rokan David remains my name. I'm out. The Muslims, Juma Karim.